We're looking at the aftermath of the deadly New Year's storm, and there's more rain, snow, and wind on the way. The atmospheric river storm over the weekend brought heavy rain to Northern California, breaching levees, flooding roads, evacuating communities, and stranding cars. Homes and businesses are now suffering water damage from flooding and powerful winds that took down trees and power lines. Several communities are still in the dark tonight. This video was just released by Sacramento Metro Fire. Crews have been hard at work over the weekend rescuing people from a flooded Highway 99 just south of Elk Grove. Tragically, we know one person was found in their car. The highway remains closed tonight.
And listen to this. In just the last 24 hours, the Rio Cosumnes Correctional Center on Bruceville Road in Elk Grove was also evacuated. Sacramento County Sheriff's Office says more than 1,000 inmates were taken to nearby correctional locations. The levee was breached in 3 places along the river. Officials say it was weakened after being hit by debris during the 2017 floods. And again, as we mentioned, the Rio Cosumnes Correctional Center on Bruceville Road has been evacuated. I just spoke to the sheriff's office moments ago. We are going to be bringing you updates on that situation throughout the evening. Meanwhile, the flooding continues tonight in Wilton as crews work to repair multiple levees breached by the heavy rain.
Some residents there are still stuck at home since their driveways are underwater. Roxanne Elias is live in one of the most flooded areas. Roxanne, what are you seeing there?
Lauren, Chris, we've been here since about 2 p.m. this afternoon, and it's been nonstop raining here. We're on Green Road right now, and if you could take a look behind me, it is completely submerged as far as you can see. The worst part about this is the homes in the area are also pretty affected. If you could see this driveway here, it's completely submerged in water, not allowing some of these homeowners to leave. One homeowner says this area is actually close to one of the levees, and he has a little bit of fear because more rain and strong winds are coming this week. Now, earlier today, crews worked on a site on the west side of Wilton Bridge on the north side of the bridge, and with another round of storms coming, the Cosumnes River levee district had about 40 people out here working on the levee. They were preparing sandbags and going through what they went through the last storm. Now, they also went through about 9,000 sandbags trying to keep the water from overtopping and plunging up small holes. Neighbors here in the area have been isolated for days, and they're hoping that they have seen the worst of this flooding.
A little overwhelming, to be quite honest. I've got weeks and weeks of cleaning up to do. I'm running a chainsaw constantly, and we're just trying to clean up.
The next storm event, they're calling for 10 foot, which is a little bit less than what we had. But nobody can predict what these storms are going to do, especially when they're warm. So we really don't know what we have, but it could be just as bad as we saw on Thursday.
Crews plan to pick up the work again tomorrow. They plan to move to the east side of Wilton to further fix the big breach. Now, coming up at 8 o'clock tonight, we'll share a little bit more on those repair efforts. Chris and Laura, back to you.
My goodness, what a difficult start to the new year for so many. We'll check back in throughout the evening. Thank you.
The Cosumnes River is the largest undammed river in the state, leaving the levee to act as flood protection. Meteorologist Rob Carlmark explains how the river's unique nature caused the deadly flood.
Let's take a look at the unique set of circumstances that resulted in the Cosumnes River flooding, because that area in particular is unlike anything else in the state. Now, this storm was also unusual as well. If you go back to early in the day when this started, Friday, all the way up until almost 9 o'clock at night, we had rain. For the highest elevations, that's a lot of water all at once without any freezing. So it immediately goes to runoff. It works its way through the system. It essentially overwhelms some of the creeks. They go right to the river, and the river keeps rising rapidly. Then you add in major heavy rain, which started on Saturday morning, which is New Year's Eve, and it was aimed almost entirely in that watershed, in that zone. It just kept raining and raining and raining, even until the end when some of the cold air moved in that spot. It was a lot of rain that turned into runoff, and the river just kept rising. Now, this spot is very unique because if you go to any other river all across California, at some point there is a dam, if not a couple dams along the way for flood control. They can do releases, they can hold some water back. But this one, there is no major dam along any of the major forks of the Cosumnes, the north, the middle, or the south. So that means anything that goes in is immediately going to go to the Cosumnes and then out to the McCallum and then out to the Sacramento River. So that means you could see really rapid rises without a whole lot of relief along the way. This was the second highest amount of flow we've seen in the Cosumnes River, second only to 1997, where we had some major flooding. And along with this one, we definitely saw some flooding as well.
All right, Rob, thank you. And new video just in from Caltrans. Twin Cities Road right here, right now, just east of Interstate 5 in South Sacramento County. The road is closed due to all that flooding you see right there. There's no estimated time of reopening. Now, the hard thing about all of this, that rain is back, Brendan, and actually this weekend we broke some records.
Yeah, that's right, Laura. We did break some records this weekend with our rainfall, especially on Saturday, December 31st. You can see here the numbers. Sacramento Executive tied the daily record with just over 2 inches of rain. Didn't break the record at downtown Sacramento, set back in 1890. That is not a typo. But in Stockton and Modesto, both really hit those new records with over 2 inches of rain in Stockton and over an inch of rain in Modesto. As we look at radar right now, over the last few hours, you can see there's still a lot of rain coming in and still a lot of snow. So it's going to continue to rain over the next several hours, and it will continue to snow in the Sierra. This is just a precursor event to a bigger system that arrives by the middle part of this week, but still, we're having some pretty decent rainfall totals out of this. Right now, downtown Sacramento, over 4/10 of an inch of rain. Natomas, over 3/10 of an inch. Elk Grove, over 2/10 of an inch, over a quarter, almost 3/10. Modesto, Stockton have not seen quite as much rain, still under 1/10 of an inch of rain down there. Right now, from the Gilmore backyard, it is 45 degrees, winds out of the southeast at about 10 miles per hour right now. Rain again continuing through much of the evening hours, so slowly tapering off as we work through the overnight hours, and you'll see that here on Futurecast. That heavier rain still in the valley as we work in towards 6, 7, 8 o'clock, then finally starting to lighten up and push out as we work through into the overnight hours tonight. But as we look at the Pacific, just look at train after train of moisture pushing in to California. We have a lot of rain still left in the forecast, including a big storm that'll arrive by the middle and end of this week, which we'll talk a lot more about later on in the show. Chris and Laura.
Brendan, thank you. We'll check back in shortly.